Hello, good evening. I made a shocking discovery and I want the world to see what I saw. Yeah, while I was studying the Bible, I stumbled into a verse that was talking about goats. And I dig deeper a little bit and I found out that the God of the celeb, the people they call themselves celebrities, if you look up here, you will see there's a resemblance between that goat and the goat. The goat you know, the goat, the animal goat you know, the one you eat. Then I was like, why should people worship goats? Why should people go to goats to bow down for goats? And this god is called Baphomet, that so many people have sold their soul to because they want to get success. They want to get quick money. I don't know much about Baphomet, but I just want to speak about the goats and the misery that I found. Now listen, if you look at the scripture in the book of Matthew 25:31 to 46, the Bible says, when the Son of Man shall come with his glory, he shall separate the bad man from the good man, like the shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And in his right hand, he will keep the sheep, while in the left hand, he will keep the goats. So that triggers my mind as, okay, why would goat be so rejected even by the scripture? Then I dig deeper why they use goat for sacrifice. Goat has been one of the animals. I found almost 40 verses in the scripture, or even more, that goat has been used for sacrifice in Old Testament. Yes, people will sacrifice goats to get what they want, especially the he goats. Now, I want to look at the sheep the Bible is talking about. The sheep the Bible is talking about here is a resemblance of peace, calmness, quietness, and obedience. This is what sheep represents. And that sheep is Christ. That sheep is Christ himself. Christ followers, those who follow Christ in truth and in spirit. Then I look at the characteristic of a goat. Even from my childhood, what I know goat to be. One thing I know goat to be is that goat is a stubborn animal. Anyway, you drive the goat and say you don't want the goat to do this, that is exactly what goat will do. Goat have that spirit of being stubborn, spirit of doing what he likes to do. He doesn't care. You drive the goat 7 times, you go back there 7 times. You drive 10 times, you go back there 10 times. That means the goat is having the same spirit with the Baphomet spirit. The Baphomet is a god that does whatever you want to do. Nobody can control except God. Now, I want to let you know these things. Now, I came to realize that one actually becomes what he eats. Most people that eat goat doesn't even know what goat stands for spiritually. Goat stands for stubbornness. Goat stands for immoralities and all kind of things, all kind of dirty things that I found out. Now, are we supposed to eat these goats? Because eventually, the kind of animal you eat, you pick up 1 or 2 behavior. Goat produces, people get milk from the goats. People also eat the goat meat, and they eat the goat meat every time. Then I realized that all the whole Africa, where they have restaurants where they kill goats, it has a lot of crowds. People goes there in large numbers than the places where they kill other kind of animals. People go there in large numbers. Then I wonder what is happening. Why is it that the people that are killing goats all over the whole Africa are more successful than people who are selling cow meat, or fish, or what have you? Then I realized that when they kill these goats, they sacrifice the blood to the god of Baphomet, which is the same spirit that works in both of them. And this god of Baphomet supplies customers, supplies all that they need. So people go there to eat the goat meat without knowing what the owners are really, or whom the owners of those big shops are. I'm not saying everybody. There are people killing goats that don't know anything about what I'm talking about. There are people killing goats in a small restaurant that doesn't even have customers. But I'm telling you, there are ones that if you go, you have to stand, wait 10, 20, 30 minutes before you are served, because a lot of crowd, a lot of cars are packed. There is a connection with sacrifice to that effect. That means all the goats they kill has already been sacrificed to their gods. And this their God we don't know. So that pushes people to the direction which Baphomet does. At the same time, you sacrifice blood, it pushes success. From the little I've read about that God Baphomet, that small letter G God like Baphomet. So from this verse, I just want to use only this verse because it's a revelation that if you are eating goat meat, or you are drinking the blood of goats, or you are taking the milk of goat for a very long time, out of 100 people that takes it, 70% of them are stubborn. 70% of them are stubborn. This is my own personal research. And I stand to be corrected. I stand to be taught. If anybody have anything to say, you can put it in the comment below. But this revelation God gave me about goats is making me personally to see goat in a kind of a way as an animal that even God himself does not preserve goat. But God preserved the sheep. You see that the sheep, they don't use the sheep for sacrifice. Mostly it's rare, but they use what the sheep produce, which is the ram, for sacrifice. But it is difficult to use the sheep itself to do sacrifice. But they use the goats, both the male goats, for sacrifice up till today, as I talk to you, all over the whole Africa, and especially maybe all over the whole world, because I can't say what I don't know. But at least in Africa, they use both the baby of a goat, both the adult, both the mother, both the he-goat, all they use for sacrifice. So this tells you that goat itself is in a certain situation where even God rejected it. God used it, God allowed it to be killed for such purposes. So is this good for human consumption, spiritually looking at it, the way I got the revelation? If goat is a god that people serve, is it good for people, Christians especially, to eat it? And you know that, like when they say cow milk for children, you give a child the cow milk, you don't give them the breast. From scientific, the child upstairs is very poor. They will not be able to articulate as they grow up. So they need a mother breast milk to be able to do well and to be able to get a balanced diet. So same to goat milk, same to anything that we eat, same to vegetables. Sometimes you eat a certain kind of vegetables, when you sweat, you'll be smelling like that vegetable. You eat a certain kind of goat meat, you smell like that goat meat. So you become what you eat. So I am now saying that people should be very careful of eating goat meat, especially in a big, very big established restaurant. You may not know the God they serve, and you may not know where the blood of that goat is going, and you may not know why you keep on going there all the time. This is my discovery, and I just want to share it with you. So I stand to be corrected. I stand to be challenged by anybody on whatever you think, but I want you to make your research properly on what I have done, a little bit of research on this animal called goats. This goat is a stubborn animal, like as I've said, is a stubborn animal. Help us to share this video and let all the people of God do their own research and come in conclusion on what goat meat stands for. Whether people should continue eating it or people should avoid goat meat. Just like some people avoid pig meat, some people also need to avoid goat meat because this goat meat is fully a resemblance of Baphomet, small letter G, God. So I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for joining our page as we keep bringing you this update and all these informations in this end time. We want you to really think and make your own research. Look at the character of a goat and the character of that God. Look at how the goat is being sacrificed on a daily basis, and also look at what happened in a place where they kill goats, how people queue in there, and what happened to those who sold their soul to Baphomet, how they make their own success. All of them, I'm coming in conclusion to say that the same goat as how God have created it is a misery. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you.